Hello everyone, here is Bhavana. Let's discuss about the structure and function mechanism of a human eye. Our paired eyes are located in the sockets of skull known as orbits. The adult human eyeball is nearly spherical in structure and is composed of three layers: sclera, choroid and retina. Sclera is the outermost layer and most sensitive part of the eye. It is composed of dense connective tissue known as collagen, and its anterior portion is known as the cornea. This is the outermost layer sclera. This part is the outermost layer sclera, and its anterior part is known as cornea. It is the most sensitive part of a human eye. The layer next to sclera is known as the choroid. It looks bluish in color as it is composed of blood vessels. It is thin over posterior two-third but becomes thick in anterior part in order to form the ciliary body. This middle layer is the choroid. It is thin over the posterior part but becomes thick in the anterior part to form the ciliary body. This is the ciliary body. Ciliary body continues forward to form iris. Iris is the pigmented and opaque structure and is the colored portion of the eye which can be visualized externally. Ciliary body itself continues forward to form the iris. This is the iris. It is a pigmented opaque part and is the colored portion of the eye which can be visualized externally. This part is the iris. This blue color part is iris. This part is the iris. This part. And above iris, this transparent part is known as the cornea, which is the anterior portion of the sclera. Human eyeball contains transparent crystalline lens, and this lens is held in position by ligaments attached to ciliary body. This is the lens. This lens is held in position by the ligaments. These are the ligaments. These ligaments are attached to ciliary body. Pupil is the aperture in front of lens surrounded by iris. Diameter of pupil is regulated by muscle fibers of iris. The aperture in front of the lens surrounded by iris is the pupil. The diameter of the pupil is regulated by muscle fibers of iris. The pupil is dilated when the external light resource is scanty or less, means when there is a dark or dim situation. In that situation, the pupil allows more light to enter the eye, and it is constricted when the external light resource is more focused and it reduces the inflow of light into the human eye. Thus, dilation and constriction of the pupil is regulated by muscle fibers of iris, and the pupil is the black colored portion of our human eye which can be visualized externally. This is the pupil. The black colored portion is known as the pupil. In front, this is the lens. In front of the lens, this aperture is known as pupil, and these are the muscle fibers of iris. The layer followed by the choroid is the retina and is the innermost layer of a human eye. It contains three layers of neural cells. Those are photoreceptor, bipolar, ganglion. The order is important. This order is from outside to inside. The mnemonic here is the word PUBG, the game. P stands for photoreceptor, B means bipolar, and G stands for ganglion. Once again, the order is important. In Ncert, the order given is from inside to outside, that is ganglion, bipolar and photoreceptor. In that case, just reverse the way of reading. G stands for ganglion, B bipolar, P stands for photoreceptor. Just remember this word and analyze the way of reading in each given situation. The photoreceptor cells are of two types, the cones and rods. These cells contain different light-sensitive proteins known as photopigments. The cones are concerned with daylight vision, or photopic vision means focus vision, and color vision. In human eye, there are three types of cones with different photopigments that respond to green, red, blue light. The mnemonic to remember these colors is the word GRB. GRB publications publish books for Neet aspirants. Just remember the word GRB. This is again a mnemonic here. The sensation of different colors are produced by various combinations of these cones and their photopigments. When these cones are stimulated equally, a sensation of white light is produced. The rods are concerned with twilight scotopic vision, means dim vision. The rods consist of a protein part and a derivative of vitamin part. The protein part is rhodopsin, is also known as visual purple and opsin. The derivative of vitamin is retinal, an aldehyde of vitamin A. This is important. In human eye, blind spot is the spot where visual acuity is absent. Photoreceptor cells are not present here. This point is located medial to and slightly above posterior pole of eyeball. That is here. Medial to and slightly above the posterior pole of the eyeball. Here it is blind spot. The reason is the optic nerve leaves and retinal blood vessel enter here. Optic nerve will leave the eyeball here and retinal blood vessel will enter here. As a result, there is no space for photoreceptor cells. As a result, visual activity is least here. Yellow spot in human eye is the point where cones are densely packed. The visual acuity here is the greatest. It is located at posterior pole of eye lateral to blind spot. Lateral to blind spot, here is the yellow spot. Here cones are densely packed. It is also known as macula lutea and with a central pit known as fovea. Here only cones are densely packed. The space between cornea and lens is known as aqueous chamber and is filled with a watery fluid known as aqueous humor. The space between lens and retina is known as vitreous chamber and is filled with a transparent gel known as vitreous humor. The word humor means fluid. Mechanism of vision. When light rays in visible wavelength are focused on retina through cornea and lens, generate potentials in rods and cones. Light induces dissociation of retinal from opsin, that is aldehyde part from protein part. As a result, there is a change in structure of opsin. This induces membrane permeability changes in photoreceptors. As a result, potential difference is generated in photoreceptor cells. Photoreceptor cells are a kind of neuron. These are bipolar neurons present on the retina of human eye. A signal is generated that is transmitted to ganglion cells through bipolar cells. The signal is transmitted from photoreceptor cells to bipolar and then to ganglion cells. This signal produces action potential in ganglion cells. This action potential is transmitted to visual cortex area of the brain by optic nerve. Where neural impulses are analyzed in visual cortex area, an image formed on the retina is recognized based on earlier memory. If you want PDF of these notes, you can find it on my Telegram channel whose link is given in description. Now it's time for active work of your brain. Listening to this concept only constitutes passive work. Give your brain active work by solving this MCQ. Diameter of pupil is regulated by ciliary body, ligaments, muscle fibers of iris, bipolar cells. Pause this video and try to answer the question without looking into your NCERT. The answer for this is muscle fibers of iris regulate the diameter of pupil. So the correct option is option C. Blind spot in vertebrate eye is where there are neither rods nor cones. This is the answer, option C. Retina is most sensitive at macula lutea, optic disc, fovea centralis and periphery. Retina is most sensitive at yellow spot, that is macula lutea. This is the option. Which of the following statements is correct? Cornea consists of dense matrix of collagen and is the most sensitive portion of human eye. Cornea is external transparent protective proteinaceous covering of eye. Cornea consists of dense connective tissue of elastin and can repair itself. Cornea is convex, transparent layer which is highly vascularized. The correct option is option 1 because it is a dense matrix of connective tissue, that is collagen, and is the most sensitive portion of eye. It is not the protective proteinaceous covering and it is not the connective tissue of elastin and it is not highly vascularized. This question is asked in Neet 2910. Photosensitive compound in human eye is made up of opsin and retinol, transducin and retinal, guanosine and retinol, opsin and retinal. The correct option is option 4, option D, opsin and retinal. The option 1 is opsin and retinol, all means alcohol. But here it is aldehyde, opsin and retinal. Be careful with this kind of questions. Answer it carefully. This question is asked in Neet 2016. I hope this video is informative for you. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me.